Ba-dum ba da ba dum bum bum. Ba-dum ba da ba dum bum. Ba da ba da bow. Ba da ba da bow. Ba da ba da ba ba ba. P&W Awards Show.
Yeah.
How he didn't? Oh wait,
Tequila.
we're not gonna give him. We're not gonna give away anything.
Yeah, we're not giving away nothing.
All right, so
No free awards.
we're gonna go ahead and kick this thing off. I'll explain it, and then Justinian, if you have any input as I explain how they were done, feel free. But in years past, what would happen is they would accumulate votes in a popular manner where everyone could go and vote on the forums, and then they would have alliance representatives who were chosen by each of their own alliances to come up and do a hidden vote. So basically, they can't see the results as the votes are happening. Then they weight the scores and come together for a winner. Their issue was people didn't know how much to weight the alliance versus the player, and everyone was really upset. So, what we've done for you today is we have separated the awards, okay, into the popular vote and then the alliance representative vote. Now, you might think, oh, that's stupid because now there's two winners. But fear not, we will help you navigate through the fluff, find out who is the actual deserving individual or alliance or server or whatever to basically win the award. Now, again, you can still claim, oh, I won the alliance rep vote or I won the popular vote. But that's kind of how we do it. There are two winners, but we will help you today decide who is the most deserving. And that's why I have Justinian and Big Morph. We're going to kind of bounce some ideas off each other and go from there.
So
So,
what you're saying is, just like in real life, I can now say hashtag not my award winner.
not my award winner. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Uh, uh,
Maybe there might be someone who should be an honorable mention, or maybe even won the award who didn't. So, first of all, shame anyone who told people how and what to vote for. We like free thinkers here, not bots. And so I hope you
and
guys voted with your heart and your mind and not because someone gave you the information ahead of time. Because we want these to be honorable awards. When you do this, when you tell people how to vote, you strip the integrity of the process and you make people who might have won feel like they are not worthy of this award.
yeah, we need to
So,
stop the steal, guys. Stop
stop
the
the
steal.
steal. So, if I was elected and someone told 1,000 people to vote for me, I would feel like I won because someone used their influence to tell people that I should win rather than them being truly loved and honored enough to vote for me. Now, yeah. And I want to make it a point. I was joking in Ron when I said we adjusted votes. We did not adjust anything. I didn't mess with the tallies. I just like to mess with people. So keep that in mind that these are truly results as they happen. Um, oh,
Y-
what I would love to do, if there's any questions on that, we are reading the chat and we can kind of do that. But um, we're just gonna gauge how it works this year, and we will always try and improve. I myself actually was not involved very much in the entire process. I would like to make sure everyone knows there are a couple people who put in a lot of time to make sure this went through. The first of those being Adrian. She really spearheaded a lot of the operations and did a lot of the workload. So I'd like to thank her again for doing this. I know she's been involved multiple years in a row. Thank you very much for doing this. Also, Scott, Putmere, and Justinian played a large role in everything. So, thank you guys all for doing this. We have a lot of people who do care about these awards, regardless if they say they don't in the chat. They are going to secretly check the results to see if their name is displayed, even though they've been hating on them in Ron. So, also, thank you, Big More, for coming for the radio show.
Oh, you're welcome. Also, you should know that we're planning on doing a very own VGM who we think should have won the award show later on.
Yep.
So
So
look
if you
out for
guys
that.
are
It's gonna be fun. If
lame
you
like me,
disagree,
show up.
yeah.
Okay, so I
Personally,
think we should.
I'm only a believer in Adrian's version of the votes.
I want to take it back to the beginning of the year, right? I I
Hit us
started
with the
late in
monologue.
2020, and uh, basically, kind of what I walked into for myself was Swamp was a thing, Quack was a thing, HM was a thing, Rose, all there. And Quack War had just concluded at the end of 2020, the duck hunt. And then basically in January, the very first week, if I'm not mistaken, TFP and TI decided to leave Swamp and they formed Oasis. With them, they brought Pantheon, Aurora. Um, they later added, or UPN was there. They later added Dark Brotherhood, Weebs. Yeah, Weebs were there. So the formation of Oasis was early on, and in their infancy, they were getting raided by a KT member. They thought it would be smart. Okay, people were saying Pantheon wasn't in Oasis. They were attached to the sphere, and they were being claimed in the same way that Quack claimed Cap. So, anyways, they thought the best way to handle KT was to start a war with them. So Oasis' first war was with KT. That went on for a month from February 17th to March 17th. It was pieced out when the basically total damages were even. And then KT went on their reign of terror. They hit Polaris, WTF. I think they hit WTF first. So they got involved with Rose next, and then basically ended up hitting everyone at one point. Am I missing anything up to that point more for Justin?
No, I think you got mostly everything.
Oh wait,
You
Pantheon died. We lost
Not
Pantheon
not
early in the
this
year.
early. It wasn't that early in there.
I'm pretty sure Pantheon died by the end of March. Anyone have
Pantheon was gone in
confirmation?
the first half of the year, but I don't remember what month specifically.
I'm gonna go with March. I have a terrible memory, which is why I have this profile picture. But I'm
I
gonna
think
go with
technically
March.
Inst still sits on the Pantheon AA, so
Yeah.
it lives on.
Do they though?
And shortly after that, Liberty Block formed with Rakatan Infinite Empire, Black Skies, someone else, and then they were joined by Shroot. Got into a fight with the Order, and ended up disbanding and dying. And so that was the thing. So Liberty came and went so fast. Let's see here. Am I missing anything up to this point? This is around like what, May? A little bit past May. And then Quack. There was the Swamp leaks. The Swamp leaked that they were going to hit TO, and Aurora, TLE, was wanting to get spicy, right? You guys remember that? Shifty dropped all those leaks on the forums.
Oh yeah. I mean, we skipped Duck Hunt, didn't we? That was this year, right?
Dunk Hunt was ended in December of
Oh
2020.
god. Oh god.
Yeah. We're old.
Oh god. Oh god.
Yeah. But we are getting into the last ride now, though, because then
Pardon
there was
my
the last
sins.
ride,
Amen.
right? So,
Quackman
how did
bad.
it kind of go down from your perspective, Morph? Because you were in Quack when that happened.
I mean, Quack was gonna break up, and we wanted a war, so we were just waiting on a war, and then Swamp was like, "Hey, we could take the order," and we were like, "Oh, that's not very nice. You shouldn't try to hit our people." So then we hit them instead.
And you guys kind of held back a little bit too, which I
Yeah,
thought was a
yeah,
nice play. Like
we didn't send everybody in. We tried to keep some alliances out, etc. So
Clip stayed back. Yeah, like all of Keck actually, I think stayed back. And then some other people. So yeah, I thought that was really cool. Around this time as well, Oasis felt like they had a lot of fat, and so they put together Delta, and they moved a bunch of alliances to bring in Cam, and Delta was formed, which is the Johnsons in their infancy. So their first scuffle was in Oblivion, when Oblivion, the peaceful and loving alliance, was just trying to protect TI. So that was kind of going on in conjunction with, I think, the last ride, somewhere in that ballpark, that they were kind of going on simultaneously. And then, let's see, Mystery formed after Swamp fell apart in the last ride. So now we've got all these little spheres popping up all over the place. And then after the last ride, Mystery was made, and then shortly was the basically Quack dissolving. They split, went their own ways at the end of the last ride, and TKR partnered up with Hedge Money and created Hollywood. And then on that same night, the longest radio show in Morph history, they hit Rose. A very unprepared Rose, if I may say so, for the Blitz to come. So that was a pretty interesting tidbit in history. And if you guys think I'm missing anything, make sure you fill in the gaps. And then after that war, which was Guns N' Roses, so if we talk about Guns N' Roses, Oasis and parts of Mystery ended up getting involved, and I thought that was interesting because technically Hollywood won. Or I guess technically they made it a white piece, but I think everyone knows that Hollywood won that war.
Skill and
And then
perseverance.
through coordination, determination, and a really big high tier. What am I missing here? Oh, okay. So then,
read the chat. What?
if I
Sorry.
read the other chat, is there another chat?
The chat between us three. That chat.
Okay. All right. So we're gonna speed it up, but basically, long story short, Rose paired up with Blackwater, hit Hollywood, and then now we have Hollywood going to war with,
Blackwater.
thank you very much, Blackwater. And in the side piece of that, towards the end of the year, Clock and Blackwater hit what we call Swamp 3.0, which was Mystery and Oasis, for a public display of MDP on the forums. They retracted it. They got hit by Clock and Blackwater, and then Clock turned around and hit Rose again. So
Clock formed because that was nice.
that is us trying to speed run the history. Obviously, a lot more things happened. PLE, we lost. Many alliances we ended up losing this year. Many we gained. I think someone stated that 7 Kingdoms, which I guess is still technically alive, is they decided they were kind of throwing in the towel this year. So that was sad to see a super old alliance die. Street. Oh, we lost the Street, the biggest RP alliance in the game. So at the
Street didn't really die though. They just moved into a new form.
They joined the Cataps blob.
But in essence, they died, right? So they're gone.
Yeah.
No one really tends to be in Sesame Street anymore.
I miss Sesame Street.
R.I.P. Sesame
and
Street.
Shroot. Yeah, the whole Shroot Farms ordeal, that was quite a ride. I gotta say that those people were very loyal to Shroot for staying so long in Shroot Farms.
I feel like next year we should make a video montage like they do at the Oscars of like all the people that died in the last year. For
Yeah.
all the alliances.
Oh, that would have been
exist.
nice.
That would be fun. We should do that next year.
Okay.
With cannons,
dive
yes.
into the awards?
Yeah, with cannons.
My favorite event, and we get to meme on Alex here in his own server. My favorite event, the winner of the public vote was High Dude stealing Alex's nation, and then he bought credits to do it, and then Alex tried to swap them back, and then he swapped all of Haidude's war chest and military onto Montania or whatever it's called, Alex's nation, and then it was just total chaos trying to figure out. Haidu was getting embargoed left and right from people going through the tutorial. Like, it was just like the greatest 8 hours or however long it worked of P&W history for this year. And funny, the other popular mentions were anything Camelot does is the funniest event, which I think, a lot of people apparently thought that was funny. And then the other one was Hollywood 1v3ing Roasis Inc. and ended up winning. So those are all the popular votes for those. The Alliance reps gave Haidude stealing Alex's nation the #1 spot as well. So it won both categories.
Unanimous support.
Oasis Mystery canceling their treaty and still getting rolled by Blackwater and Clock was second. And then third was Alpha being discovered as multis and completely disbanding. So, do you guys agree with either of those?
I thought the Alex drama was pretty funny. That was pretty good.
It was really good.
It was pure. It was drama free. It was a great community choice for that category.
Yeah, that was really good.
That's a win. We have the first award of the night, unanimous. You love to see it.
Unanimous. You love to see it. Haidude stealing Alex Nation won both.
Now,
All right.
that leads us into our. Oh, I was about to say this leads us into our biggest controversy category.
Take it away, Morph.
Very smoothly. We saw several different controversies over the year. The popular vote was the Alpha Multi scandal, which just happened during this last Clock versus Rose war. Some people did some awesome investigation, and it was determined that all but like 2 people in Alpha were all multis, and the entire alliance got banned in the middle of a war, which obviously hurt Rose and Co.'s war effort. That won the popular vote. Second in the popular vote was Camelot. Not one specific event, just all of it. And the third place was Oasis and Mystery Inc. MDP. Now, the cool thing about this is the Alliance reps literally voted the exact same way. So Alpha Multi Scandal also wins the biggest controversy of the year. Camelot is also the second controversy of the year, and the Oasis Mystery Inc. is the third biggest controversy of the year. So,
you know why I kind of disagree with this?
What?
Because Alpha being a multi and getting banned shouldn't be controversial. You should be 100% for them getting banned and removed. Like, it should be unanimous. It's not controversial at all. Everyone should be behind them getting banned. That is.
I don't know if anybody disagreed with their ban, like being banned. I think it was just controversy in the sense of like a scandal, not necessarily that 50. It wasn't like a 50-50 split.
Well, then we need a biggest scandal, because I'm going off
It
biggest controversy.
It could have been named better.
Yeah, and I think yeah, I mean, clearly anything Camelot did, like them going paperless, could be controversial from their eyes. The MDP, I think, was a really big controversial one, so I'm fine with all of them being up there. Obviously, Alpha fits the best category for controversy, even though I don't necessarily think it's appropriate for the definition. But yeah, totally unanimous all the way through. Alpha multi-scandal won both sides of that equation.
So congratulations, Alpha, you won something.
Clap it up in chat, guys.
I'm
Clap it up in chat.
I'm going to lean on you guys a lot for this declaration of war, best declaration of war, because I'm pretty bad at reading the declarations of war. Hang on, I'm going to... Sorry, my dogs are barking in the background.
Actually,
I don't read the
take this
declaration of wars. Yeah, will you? Because I don't follow Because there's so many of them. I don't.
This is actually my favorite. This is one of my favorite categories of the year. Actually, best declaration of war in the community section. And it actually is funny. The Alliance representatives and the popular vote both unanimously concluded on the same one that I chose, and that is, and I'll post it in the chat, Clock's declaration of war, like 20 minutes after declaring peace with Rose. Or, I'm sorry, declaring peace with Mystery and then pivoting to Rose.
Yeah.
I actually missed that Blitz night, and I went back and had to read all the OWF threads, and I was shocked at the turnaround time. I did not realize until later how hilariously quick they spun and hit Rose. I know Rose is probably not happy to hear that, but it was really funny.
It wasn't that big of a deal. I just, I put my heart and soul into my treaty web of figuring out the conspiracy theory between Oasis, Blackwater, and Clock, just so they could shave Infra to hit Rose. It didn't even make the list at all.
You see, this is a weird category for me because this is not the best actual thread. It's just the best war that started.
It was the best moment.
It's the best moment, but there's better actual explanations why we're going to war or funnier declarations of war that have happened. This one was just the 20 minutes of it all is, I think, the funny part, at least in my opinion.
It was just an epic moment in history, P&W history, I think.
Yeah. All right, just real quick, the popular vote, second place is Cataclysm's Dow on Oasis and Mystery. And third place for the popular vote is the Syndicate's Dow against Oasis Mystery. And then the runner-up for the Alliance rep is Eclipse Recognition of Hostility against KT Knights Radiant. And that tied with the TKR spoof of a Camelot declaration of war.
Which, by the way, Camelot has never lost a war in their history.
Never lost a war.
So, best wall of text. We originally saw a lot of hate on walls of text at the beginning of this year.
Next year, we're going to have a lot of options.
Yeah, now they're coming back. They're making a comeback. People want to see walls of text again. People want to see emotion. Thalmor made a whole thread on it. Horsecock made a big thread calling out the Syndicate. A lot of controversy. Those are all good ones. But
yeah, I think the forums are just coming back in general.
Yeah, I like that because it archives things. Like I saw a thread. I'm trying to remember what the exact event was, but it had a bunch of MPO people spewing salt over certain events in the game, and I thought it was really cool. So I got to read back in history, whereas in Discord it gets totally lost. It's totally buried forever for the most part.
I do love a good forum thread.
Yeah, it's got to be good. The forums thought that High Dude's Global War 18 Milcom rant was the #1 wall of text, followed by Oasis Seething,
which
I assume for Global War 18.
Yeah, I don't think it's any one specific wall of text
in
here.
In general.
Yeah. Which, to be fair, Oasis did seethe a lot. On their WF.
I like to think that they're just passionate. They're passionate group.
That's fair.
Cataclysm Declaration of Existence was the third best popular vote. And then on the Alliance reps, they voted Oasis Seething the best for the wall of text, followed by High Dude's Global War 18 Milcom rant, followed by the Cataclysm DOE. So they're all up there. They all got voted for. The only difference is popular vote was for High Dude's very analytical Milcom rant versus Oasis very passionate seething. For me, you guys can disagree, but for me, High Dude wins it because it takes a lot more work to be analytical, to do some research, and then to care enough to explain to people where they went wrong on both sides. And it takes experience to know that versus just being salty on the forums and smashing your keyboard with tons of hate.
I also think Hydroid wins it because, again, there is no specific wall of text that is linked to this. It's just a general sieve of Oasis and not like one specific wall of text. So my vote is for Hydroid here for the actual true winner in our hearts.
You agree with that, Justinian?
I liked High Dudes.
Yeah. It was very, very detailed. Yeah, he got into almost every single alliance and research wars. It was crazy. All right, best leak.
Are we just gonna take
forums.
turns and rotate, or?
Sure.
Yeah, you want to take this one?
No, it was Morph's turn actually.
Oh, okay.
I just didn't
So
know.
the OWF, we all love a good leak. Leaks can cause wars. Leaks can get you dropped by your protectorate, etc. And so the OWF in the popular vote nominated Panky's leak, aka the leak that killed Swamp, that got them rolled at the end of during the last ride. The second place vote for the OWF is the series of cam leaks, which led to the creation of the Camelot Intelligence Agency that was formed to weed out traitors. And when they announced their success in an announcement of catching the perpetrators, the announcement was then promptly leaked. So that's pretty funny. And third place goes to the entirety of DP's announcement channel. Because it's always showing up in Ron because DP has no
It might as well
OPSEC.
be a public channel.
Yes.
I personally think that they should just cut out the middleman and make it an RSS feed. You know how like when Alex puts an update out in the server, it runs to everyone's channel automatically? They should just make their announcement channel automatically go to the leak section in all the news servers. That way we can just cut out someone having to do the screenshots.
That seems the most reasonable choice.
It would save some time for us all.
Maybe TI needs to do that too.
Now the Alliance reps agreed that the leak that killed Swamp is the best leak of the year. But for second place, they thought that it was DP shitting on Rose and then promptly immediately getting dropped by Rose because of the screenshots. And then third place had a tie between the previous mentioned Camelot leak about the CIA and then also Placentia or Steve's leaks before rage quitting the game, where he like said Oblivion's a bunch of multis, etc., and some other things. So yeah, those are the best
see
leaks.
Placenta when they see that name? I cannot get it out of my head. I just see Placenta when I see it. It's apparently
that has to be what he was going for, right? When
I
he
think
made
so, but I think it's
cannot get it out of my head.
It's Placentia, right?
It's Placentica.
So this is the first category where I'm gonna have to go ahead and insert my own thoughts here. Best leak should have been Sanctuary shitting on DPE for having bad artwork. That was the most coherent and agreeable argument I've ever seen come out of any alliance for the reason for dropping their ally. And I cannot stress this enough. Bad artwork is the number one reason to drop your ally.
That's fair. That's fair.
That one was pretty funny. It was definitely I mean, I think that it's funny, but I don't know if it's as impactful as the leak that killed Swamp, because it dropped two alliances that, you know, are doing something weird every other week versus making, 66.9% of the game mill up and fight each other.
That's fair.
Definitely an honorable mention, though.
I think Panky's link was pretty funny. So, next category, whoever's up, best meme.
Best meme.
Go ahead, Justin. You can do this one. I think you know these.
So one of my favorite things about the awards every year, and why I get so involved with them, is because I enjoy seeing things. Because my memory for P&W it lasts about 3 to 6 months at most. Like, I don't remember what happened in January in P&W, but these awards always bring back some good nostalgia, and Best Meme definitely takes the cake. Alliance representatives in OWF popular vote agreed again simultaneously. Lord Tyrion's forum post about nerfing loser weapons, which I had forgot about. It was from February, but apparently I had downvoted it at the time. And apparently somebody remembered that 8-10 months later to nominate it, and everybody voted for it.
There was ads put out. There were pictures put out. Someone took Tyrion and put nerf all loser weapons as like the center. Yeah, there it is. As like the center post, and then they took every instance of him in the war using loser weapons and made a collage of this image. It is, I mean, I love Tyrion. Tyrion is.
I like Tyrion.
What I love about Tyrion is he's in person. He's like so calm, cool, collected. He seems very methodical about the things he says. So for someone to like put this collage together is truly amazing, and I hope this image still pops up 2 years from now.
It gives you a good chuckle. The whole category does. Alliance representatives also tied for first place. Just P&W in general, the whole game as the best meme. Camelot won the second place for the popular vote, with P&W coming third. And then I don't understand this one, but this one I remember it from the beginning of the year, but I have no idea where it came from. Adrian rhymes with pants.
It's a fur wolf thing, I think.
I don't understand. Can anybody explain to me why Adrian rhymes with?
Yeah, it's doulos.
Oh, they're saying doulos.
Okay, yeah, I get those two confused because they're. Yeah.
Is doulos in the audience? Because like, what? Somebody explain to me how that rhymes with pants.
It doesn't. But
it doesn't. I think that's the meme.
He was trying to he said something mean, I think, to Niz, and then when he got attacked for it, he said that it rhymes with pants, and then we memed on him because of it.
Okay.
So, yeah, Dude said, yeah, it was some sexist shit, and then said that Adrian rhymed with pants.
Excuse. So he used a ridiculous excuse to cover up something very spicy that he said.
Yeah, it was very bad. So.
All right, well, I understand that now because I didn't get it at all. I assumed it was like a peace term or something like that, so that makes it a little better. I might have understood it more when we were voting. So next we have best Discord server. This one is buckle up. So
we got a hot one here, boys and girls.
This is quite the rivalry that is coming up. So Overwatch World Forums.
Overwatch
stands for ODF. Is it?
Overwatch World
Orbis World. Wow.
Orbis, my man.
Orbis World Forums. Wow. Open World.
It could be open
Duck
world
News won the popular vote with 69 votes. Nice. And then followed by Royal Orbis News, followed by TKR, which
we don't even use Discord, baby.
I was gonna say I don't understand why that's there. I don't know.
I use TKR's Discord all the time. I don't know about y'all.
Yeah.
We play Paradox games there once a week. Like, it's a good time.
So
if you like our Discord, you should check out our Slack.
Hard pass. And then for the Alliance reps, they put Royal Orbis News first, followed by Orbis Crown News second, with a tie between DNN and PIT, which is Pirate Island Times. Now, here's why I like the way this turned out. Ron, for the majority of the year, was present and was a huge hub of activity. They also were very active in terms of reporting consistently throughout the year. And so I'm glad that they won one of the two categories because so much stuff does happen in the Balkans and in those news. I am happy also to see DNN win because they have had a very strong surge in the later end of the year. They have very different opinions from what people find in Ron. People who might be banned in Ron are in DNN. People who are banned in DNN you might find in Ron. I think if DNN had been around longer, it may have had a chance to win Alliance Rep. And then if Ron had really pushed to try and win popular vote, they probably could have taken it if they put in a bunch of effort. So I'm glad they both won. What I like about DNN especially is, like, I know that it sounds like I'm basically wanting to date High Dude, but he's had a lot of really good posts in there. They've been pretty accurate with a lot of the reporting. Ron has been good on that lately. So both of them, I'm totally fine. Don't care who wins out of the two. I use them both personally. So what do you guys think on that?
I'm with you. I think right now where it is, like, if you're not in Ron, you're losing out, especially from like an FA perspective kind of thing. Because with the move away from the forums that we've gone through for the last year or two, Discord's been really big. But I really do enjoy DNN, and I think they will potentially really be challenging here in this next year, even more so than they are now. So I would say, if I had to give a bet, I would say Ron wins this year, but I think DNN, if they keep up their work, they would definitely win next year.
Longevity.
This is actually one of the few times where I'll actually say I think the people's vote matters more than the Alliance representatives.
Sure.
The people have spoken. Duck News Network, D's Nuts News Network, is the top Discord server of 2021. It just can't even be argued. Not even with Krampus bribing the Alliance representatives to vote for him. It's DNN all the way to the top, baby. DNN, please give me a staff
hoping
position.
to see what happens over 2022. DNN said they're going to be a superpower. Maybe they already are, but I hope that it stays around for a while.
Let's just admit real quick that the real travesty here in this category was that Very Good Media didn't even get a nomination.
Not even close.
Truly a travesty.
We gave you more Playbear. We didn't get a nomination.
Spicy shows, spicy radio shows, and no one.
We gave you a 4-hour blitz show on Guns N' Roses with James Wilson yelling in an airport, and you can't even nominate us.
Was he in an airport?
We brought Kevin to sign peace with Delta, and they became the Johnsons that show. Come on.
We impact foreign policy, okay? Thank you.
Thank you. That's all. I'm leaving it on that. Best community contributor. Morph, take it away. Or is it just
I think it's me. So for the best community contributor, the OWF nominated Borg in first place. I believe it was really close as well. Hi Dude in second place, and Thalmor in third place. Borg, I think, in large part because of the prevalence of Lakotis, which is a massive thing in the community. Hi Dude, I think, in large part for some of his work with DNN and his long form like war posts and that kind of thing, and Thalmor obviously for his contributions through Thalmor Radio. Every Friday night, he's going to be there having a show.
Every Friday
night. The Alliance reps agreed. They went with Borg as the best community contributor. And then in second place, they had myself and Thalmor in a tie. So that's the best community contributor awards.
I like these. I'm comfortable with Borg being at the top. He talks in public channels. He helps, like the Locutus helps a lot of alliances create equality that wouldn't be there. The disparity in some instances for alliances, if they didn't have access to a public bot, helps. I get it. I'm totally fine with Borg being at the top. He's a nice guy. He's helped me out before many, many times, and he's very selfless. And I've even offered to pay him before, and he was like, don't pay me. I do it for free. If you want to go donate to a charity that you love, do that instead. And I think that's super based. I love it. So I'm happy to see him there. I'm totally fine with Hi Dude and Big Morph, you guys both contribute. I'm glad the Morph Radio is getting some love there. And then Thalmor being consistent every Friday night in his servers, talking about the game, pushing it forward. Like, he's huge. I love it. All those people should just be getting all the love.
Yeah, Thalmor definitely kicked off the whole radio show thing in general, I think.
Yeah. Some honorable mentions, I think, that didn't get mentioned. Adrian brought up a good point. Shamadrew from CTO, he's the brains behind CTO'd, which is basically the only real thing that tracks stats in an easy way. I mean, there is Locotus as well, so that's Borg that does some of that. And so
yeah, before we had CTO'd, it was Borg's Locutus tracking it.
Yeah, but CTO'd is pretty easy to use, etc. Even though some people in chat are not liking it. So Vice, I think, is also someone that deserves an honorable mention there. Kev, Justin, lots of people are good community contributors. Just because someone doesn't get nominated doesn't mean they don't make a significant contribution to this weird community that we have. But we love our community.
The community is everything, and really, I think what keeps a lot of people around. And when you have people who tirelessly contribute to doing things such as radio shows, or running news servers, or running bots for people, like those all help push the game forward. They all help keep people together. Otherwise, like I love the game, but the communication aspect in game is quite bad. And all my friends that I've made in this game have been over Discord, or for some people Slack, whatever. And so I think that best community contributor is a huge, huge thing. Like, to me, that is one of the best and highest esteem awards you can get.
The best community contributor to P&W is whoever created Discord. So there
Justinian,
we go.
best new addition to the community.
Technically, we were on IRC before Discord.
Yeah, but I do.
So best new addition to the community. Let me see. Alliance reps OWF popular vote again. Unanimously chose somebody. I can't make out the name. Not sure how to pronounce it here.
Did we lose you?
Can you hear me?
Justinian just died?
I can hear him.
No. Did I die?
You can hear him?
I can hear him.
I cannot hear him.
I think everybody else can hear me but Vice.
Yeah, I'm going to leave the show and come back.
I guess I'm dead in real life.
Rest in peace. Oh, the Bengals are winning.
Don't get my hopes up like that.
They are. They're winning.
Yeah, best new addition to the community. So this actually shocked me. I'm not gonna lie. I thought he was at least from 2020, but apparently not. Our one and only Big Morph coming out of TKR, heading up the FA scene, changing the game for the better. Unanimously voted between Alliance reps and OWF. Second place doesn't even matter. Big Morph won it all, took it away, took it home.
Yep.
And that's definitely not a changed or biased vote. That's just how it fell.
That's how it fell.
Morph, do you have any thoughts on that? Do you feel like you're the best new addition to the community?
I'm honored. Are you guys about to play me off here? I want to thank the Academy. I want to thank Niz for being my mentor. I want to thank everyone that comes out to the radio shows and people that let me do my FA and let me talk to them in their DMs. So yeah, thank you everyone. I'm gonna get out here before they play me off. So
yeah, we would have chosen Cooper, but he was old, so.
Yep. Yeah, and then you had some big mentions. Why don't you finish out the next ranking?
We have second place.
Nah. Second place doesn't really need to be read, does it?
Skip.
Yeah, second place is a real loser. It's Vice. No, I'm kidding. Vice won second place. I thought Vice was also at least on the OWF, Vice got second place, and in third place, it was Velny Voss, who was my mentee, so I'm pretty proud of that. And then, like Robert said, it was a unanimous for the first place, and then in second place, we had a three-way tie between Vice, between Village, and Pinpico.
Pinpico has been campaigning hard for that spot.
He has been campaigning hard. So congratulations, Pinpico, for your second place finish.
He truly did his best.
Village.
Village is the guy who created the Rift bot, which is a similar bot to Locutus.
He also
anybody didn't know who that was, because I didn't know who it was until recently.
I think Village also runs the leak Discord, where people post like leaks and stuff from all the different. I think it's like called database or something. And Village is also working really hard on the new API version 3, which is going to be, I think, pretty big for the game once it's all done. So.
All right, who's next? I don't know.
You.
Me. Sexiest voice.
Oh gosh.
Love it. All right, so
this one was weird.
If I would have won this one, it would have invalidated all the voting process altogether. Okay, so I'm glad that like some of the people who actually have it are up here. So, I want to. The popular vote was Thalmor is number 1. Second was Big Morph. Third was Decagon. I've never heard Decagon talk. No, I have. Yeah, he was in Ron. Yeah, he went in Ron that one time. Okay, I do remember him now. And then the alliance votes. First place was SRD, and then second place was a tie between Hannah and Kevinovia. So, I'm okay with these. I like that Thalmor won. He does do some really interesting and hilarious things with his voice on his show. So glad he's there. Big Morph, obviously, you've got that. You just sound like you have hair on your chest, Morph. You know what I mean?
I do,
You sound like it. And then I've only heard Decagon once. I don't know enough to comment on that.
I just wanted to be known that Thalmor beat me by 2 votes, and but Thalmor was also Jaden's spam vote for sexiest voice to all his members. So I really think I won in my heart, but it's okay.
I do love Thalmor's voice. So, but
and the real shocker here for me is the alliance category.
Right?
SRD
coming in first.
Sexiest voice.
People love the confidence.
I've heard him on one show only, and I don't remember his voice being.
He sounded younger than I thought he was going to.
Yeah, I thought he would sound old.
Yeah.
Like
raspy voice, because of 40 years of cigarettes.
Yeah.
But I love that Kev was noted in here. He has so many songs. He's been doing music and songs and talking in the show. He opened up our show with his beautiful voice. He was who I voted for, and I was happy that he got mentioned. Also,
we forgot.
Apparently,
we forgot in that category.
Yeah. I just want to say, apparently, Scott has an insanely beautiful Irish voice. So, just gonna point that out there, and then we're gonna skip to best ad and try and get through these.
Also,
he's Scottish, whatever.
And Hannah won. Hannah H from AMP won second place there as well. So.
All right. Morph, why don't you take best ad?
All right, best ad because we skipped it. The OWF voted for the 100 plus upvoted Pika Poach ad that Rose put on to try to get Pika to leave, I think, Children of the Light at the time and go to Rose, which she did once they got 100 votes. And then We then rolled Rose and Guns N' Roses to get Pika back. That's the real CB. You can't change my mind. Second place is Mindsome's new singles in your area ad. And then third place is Lost. We Know the Way by The Way. The Alliance reps had a slightly different take on this. First place, they gave it to Mindsome's new singles in your area ad. Second place was Lost, We Know the Way. And third place was Dennison's ad about Tyrion and the loser weapons. So,
all solid choices.
all pretty solid choices.
Trying to think of any that I think should be honorable mentions in there, and they were all good. But yeah, I'm happy with all those.
Some of those way ads are just hilarious.
Have you ever actually looked at how many they put up there?
They put out so many.
I actually made a post about. I literally made a suggestion. Anyway,
their whole alliance would be C30 if they spent money on cities instead of ads.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they wouldn't be as funny. Okay.
To succinctly put it, between them and Alex, they account for over 50% of player ads. The last time I looked.
There we go.
Wild.
All right, so now we are going to transition from community categories to player categories, because we all know you want the alliance category, so we're going to do the best for last. So we're moving it up to player category. So player of the year. Who wants to take this one?
I'll rock player of the year. So the popular vote was Hi Dude, followed by Borg, followed by Benfro. I think all of those could be optimal choices. I like that Hi Dude did get nominated. I know not everyone crossed paths with him, but he fought hard all year. He got involved in alliances, even though he's in a 10 or 12 man alliance. He got involved in a lot of alliances. For being in such a small alliance, he makes an impact in his block. He did the funny thing where he swapped Alex's nation. He has done a lot of things this year, and I'm totally happy to see him at the top. Borg, again, player of the year. He started several alliances, which are still around and kicking, or have been involved in mergers, which went on to do major moves. He also, again, does the bot. He does a lot of offshoring for people, totally fine with that one as well. Benfro, huge impacts in the game during his time. Sad to see him go. I think Weisel's doing a great job so far. Happy with all those candidates. The Alliance nominated player of the year. There's a 3-way tie for the winner. So we're going to have to hash this one out. But basically, the 3-way tie is Horsecock. God, it feels weird trying to keep the game PG-13 and saying that. Horsecock, Kigaz, and Mindsome MC. So those three were voted in a tie. I don't, if I'm being totally honest, I know Mindsome has had some impact with radio shows and his alliances and things like that. But I feel like with Horsecock doing Hand of Fate and then the KT Reign of Terror and having his wall of text and input in the game, as well as Kigaz doing a lot of major moves in the game, it's hard to stack up. Those are heavy hitters, heavyweight players in the game. Seeing Kigaz have his hand in the formation of Clock, and then having a hand in Hollywood, those are all heavy hitters. So I like most of the people that are up there, and I'm totally happy to see them up there. Do you guys agree?
For the most part, sorry, I got a text. I'm trying to.
Okay. Justinian, you happy with that?
I have a mouthful full of burrito.
Oh my God. Can I get new hosts? Anyone down there want to come up?
Give me a second, man.
I'll do the next one. Fine. You text
I can do the next one. That's fine.
Well, I think it's interesting. Player of the year was the first category where we saw a big discrepancy between the alliance representatives and the OWF popular vote.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. I like mine some. I think he's funny and charismatic, but I have no idea how he won a 3-way tie of Player of the Year this year.
Yeah.
Hi, dude. I could easily see he's really stepped up his game, especially for 2021. I think mine some just pinged me when I said that.
Don't add us with your salt after the show.
Borg,
by the way.
I disagree with Borg for Player of the Year. I think he's influential, but I don't quite find him Player of the Year material compared to some of the other people. Benfro, another one I could easily see TKR's leader for most of this year. Easily a very influential player, had a large impact on the game for 2021.
This is a category that I think would benefit from more of like a clarification on what makes a Player of the Year.
Yeah.
Just because like, is it like an alliance leader that wins Player of the Year, or
I'm okay with it being broad. Who added the most stuff to their resume this year?
That's fair. I think
and Benfro and Horsecock from a affects the whole game perspective would be the top 3 in that. I think from looking at like wars, like from an FA perspective, yeah, like those guys would be at the top. From an all-inclusive, High Dude is definitely up there, and Borg is up there as well. So like that's why I'm fine with them being on there. But yeah, this 100% could be argued how you define Player of the Year.
Yeah, I definitely agree. High Dude. Sorry, I definitely agree. High Dude fits in all the categories, checks all the boxes. But I do agree with what you're saying. Alliance leaders are an easy pick.
Yeah. I mean, I don't have a problem with High Dude winning it. I think High Dude's awesome. I also don't have a problem with the other people being nominated either. I just, again, as the award is currently categorized, I think it's fine.
Someone said that the discrepancy just in the chat here is probably because a lot of players don't understand what some of these people do. A lot of people don't know the hand that Horsecock has played in this. They don't know what Benfro has done for Hollywood. They don't know what Kigaz has done for Clock, and before that, his time in like Hollywood, HM, all that stuff. So I can see how there's a big discrepancy here. Whereas a lot of the people who were the Alliance reps were either leaders or FA people who got in there and did this. So totally understand why it can be split. Most influential player.
Yep. The OWF here nominated Borg for first place, Higaz for second place, and Krampus for third place. The Alliance reps disagreed and put Kigaz in first place, Krampus in second place, and Borg in third place.
Interesting.
I mean, I think personally, for me, I agree here more with the Alliance reps than the OWF crowd. I think
because Borg couldn't even stop a war between his own alliances. He didn't have enough influence to do it.
Yeah.
To be fair, Borg also spearheaded the investigation into Alpha.
I thought that was
kind of turned the tide of award.
I thought that was Veins. And Rose is going to lose anyway, so he just sped it up.
At least you guys didn't delete all your military.
We didn't do that, yes. We did fight.
Yeah. I think Kigos here wins. Like I said, Borg is Gov in a couple different alliances, but like, yeah, I don't think he has too much like. Again, this might be a weird one because when I hear this one, I think of who has the most like FA pull, and I'm not sure really many people on here except Kigos really have a lot of FA pull. Like Krampus is influential because he controls Ron, but
the Ron propaganda machine strong.
That's about
it, right? DNN will rise.
All aboard the influence train. Yeah, I think it's interesting how you have like a player who has his hand in a lot of alliances but isn't considered FA. You have a person who's big and heavy in the FA department, and then you have someone who's in a news server.
Yeah, this is the weird thing. Like I would think like Kigaz and like maybe like a Wana or maybe like a Weisel / Ben or
I mean,
a
Syndicate didn't
Harry.
get rolled all year, so Wana had to have some influence over people to be an honorable mention in this because he managed to go 365 days without a rolling. So, obviously not in 2022, but yeah.
I mean, the Johnsons didn't get rolled either. So, are the Johnsons very influential?
For most alliance leader.
Technically, they did, but that was before they became the hegemony. So
they've always been the hegemony. Let's not lie.
Okay, so yeah, let's we can move on from there. Like I said, I think Kigos is the guy that probably deserves that the most, but
I voted for him.
Okay.
Purely from the perspective of who was in my DMs the most, Kigos was the least on that list, so I'm going to say I disagree.
Okay, well. Let's move on to most likely to succeed in 2022. This one has a unanimous pick between the Alliance reps and the OWF. It is a person that's in this chat, and it's not me, and it's not Justinian. Vice has been
I'm gonna
nominated.
dunk on all you. Gonna dunk on everyone.
Yeah, Vice here has been voted most likely to succeed in 2022. Real quick, before we let Vice make a speech, we have Deca in second place for the OWF and Big Morph in third place. And then the Alliance reps for second place had Village. And then third place had a tie between Pinpico, Roberts, and Jaden Star. So, yeah, that's a choice. Okay.
So
Vice speech.
Here's my thing with this. Here's my thing. Last year, best rookie alliance, I'm pretty sure, was Chocolate Castles, right?
I think so.
Fizzled out. They're gone. I'm pretty sure who was most likely to succeed in 20. Does anyone know who won this award last year? I thought that it was like the person that won it last year. This is like a curse because they ended up just completely tanking. And now you guys have put a bounty on my head to get completely tanked this year. Like I'm gonna get completely destroyed because of this.
I was glad it was you and not me. So
I'm
fun.
pretty sure that like this is a curse when it comes to winning it. Which
especially if your Alliance won best rookie, then you're screwed.
I'm screwed if that is the case. So okay, so anyways, honorable mentions most likely to succeed. I think there's a lot of people who can go up in here. I think Big Morph is up there. I don't think Weisel's going to run more than a year. If he does, cool, which will put Big Morph in charge of TKR. That's big. Decagon, huge honorable mention because he's part of Cataclysm. He's had his hands in a lot of things that block has done. Clearly, they're making moves. Fine with that. Roberts manages to get every single alliance he talks to merge into him. So who knows what's in store for him in 2022?
Except Voodoo.
It's been pitched. I'm happy with all those. I think there's a lot of people who didn't get mentioned for this that I think really should be. So, anyways, yeah. I'm fine moving on to best alliance leader, which popular vote was Vayne. Is it Vayne or Vanes? It's got to be Vayne. It was Vayne.
Vane's plural is the name of the player.
Yeah. Not just one Vayne, he's multiple. Benfro got second place for the popular, and then a tie for third was Darth Ataxia and Decagon. I'm fine with all those. I spent a very, very short stint in Eclipse this year when what was that? Guns N' Roses kicked off, and at the time, Eclipse was like possibly thinking they might be a target, and like the amount of effort that it was Pascal and Vanes, but they were like on their time zone. It was like 2 or 3 in the morning. They were messaging members individually about MMRs and units and all this stuff. Like I was like clearly they had a dedication to their alliance. So I'm happy with that. Benfro clearly has done a lot of really good things for TKR, and Decagon and Ataxia have either had long tenured reigns or like have been making a lot of moves in a very short period of time. The Alliance representatives chose Valk as first, and then a three-way tie for second place, which was Khan, SRD, and Vayne. So I'm fine with this too because like Rose grew like crazy. Yeah, they got rolled twice this year. One of them was under Valk, one of them was under Lucy, I believe. But I feel like they have shaken a lot of stigma around them that people were very upset with them for. They're trying to make a lot of changes, which are good. And a lot of that came off the coattails of what Valk has done. I also have seen and have players in my own alliance who were previous Grumpy members, and not a single person can say enough about how good of a leader SRD was to them, how he cared about them on an individual and personal level, as well as in game. I know Khan has done a long reign of leading Aurora, and the people who are there are very dedicated to that alliance. At least they, like for that whole 2021 period were, and then Vayne's back up there again. So I'm fine. All these people up here. I think there's a lot of people that should be up here as well, but I'm happy that at least these guys got mentioned.
It's a good list. I mean, I think you have to some honorable mentions to Lefty, some other honorable mentions I think to Hannah and Kilo at ampersand, and some other people Right Honorable's been at Commonwealth for a year, and they ended up in a better spot now than they were at the beginning of the year.
Much better.
Yeah, so some other people had some pretty good years as well, but this is a pretty good list that you have here. So
I'd agree. Rolling right along into worst alliance leader, the best category out of all. The OWF alliance representatives, again, unanimous. Take a guess, chat. It's Epimetheus. We all knew it was coming. Camelot has earned it. Epi's earned it. There's really not a lot more to say on it. There's a lot more to say on it, but there's really not. A little controversial pick here for second place, though, which I think is a little more interesting. Lord Tyrion won the popular vote in second place for worst alliance leader, which I just kind of wholeheartedly disagree with. Call me biased, I guess. Jaden Starr won third, which I think is semi-reasonable. Alliance reps, second place for worst alliance leader, picked Jaden Starr as well, and Green/Lord Allen tied for third place. Again, kind of reasonable picks. What do you guys think?
The Tyrion pickup here is just Tyrion keeps the Immortals going. He's a great leader. You might not agree with some of his FA stuff, but that doesn't make him a bad leader. Yeah, Tyrion's great. He keeps the wheels running. The Immortals is a massive top 5, top 4 alliance that I think with Mortals might be even top 3, and they're rolling. And they're arguably also in a much better spot this year than they were at the end of last year. Yeah, they had some FA bungles, but sometimes you have bungles. So
yeah, Tyrion does not deserve to be up here, even as a guy who is hypercritical. I'm hypercritical of TI. We were their ally for a long time when I was in Oasis with them, and the dude cares. He cares about his members. He cares about his alliance. He's had some hiccups, but I don't think they're warranted to be on the list with some of the other people up here. So
I would say Epi, Jaden, and Green. The Alliance reps, I think, have a pretty good top 3. So let's.
I think Alan could be up there too.
Alan's
really,
in there too.
Yeah.
Let's scooch on over here to best in character poster. We can kind of speed through this one, I think, because we need to catch up. OWF, Wana was the winner there, and Wana has some pretty good walls of text, and his posts are always really good. Horsecock, I think maybe got a big lift from his massive wall of text there. Hi Dude is in top 3 for best in character poster according to the OWF. The Alliance reps put Mindzone as first choice. Second, Horsecock. Third is tie between Kev and SRD.
Okay.
So
someone almost spoiled the game for me. Someone just said a Bengals interception overtime. Stop. I don't have the game on. I'm going to go back and watch it. If you guys spoil this for me, I'm going to murder all of you. I live in Cincinnati. Do not do this.
R.I.P. your DMs.
You should have said that. You should have just hit chat.
Yeah, sports, whatever. Well, I mean, everyone says sports are dumb until
I think the 49ers beat the Bengals.
Oh my god. Okay, all right. I'm sorry. Are we at best villain? Are we there yet? Is it me doing best villain?
Yeah, I would agree with Juana. I think Juana's a good pick there. So
yes,
moving on. Best villain.
Yeah, and honorable mention. I think Kev got third there, but he does such good role play stuff. He is a great in character poster. I like that he's there.
A lot of his stuff is OWF, like radio stuff and etc. But his Johnson's leader bit is one of my favorite parts about the game. So moving on, best villain.
Yep, best villain. Epi won both voting categories. In the popular vote, Zerg came in second place. Horsecock came in second place on the Alliance rep, and then it swapped for the third place. Horsecock came in third, and then Zerg came in third for the other ones. So here's my thing. Epi is absolutely can be a nomination here, but he's more of like channeled through TKR, which could be like worst alliance. Like I feel like there's another thing he could win here that to me, villain, it's down between Horsecock and Zerg. Zerg, the reason why I would maybe give it to Horsecock is because like earlier in the year when KT went on an absolute spree, everyone was like worried about it, and I feel like there was FA implications that lasted through the entire year, and even now people are probably scared to tie to him because he might go bonkers on the game again. So my thing about Zerg though is he had a lot of controversial stuff. He had a lot of things happen, and the only I would put him up there. The only reason why Horsecock could be picked over him is Zerg affected a lot of individuals. Like he did a lot of things that like hurt certain individuals at a really, really high scale. Whereas Horsecock did a lot of things that were global. I would be fine with either one. I think Zerg and Horsecock are both up there. For me, I have a hard time choosing between the two, but I think potentially because Horsecock's stuff was in the front half of the year and Zerg's was in the back half of the year, people might remember his stuff more. So either one of those, I think throw Epi out and give it to both of those guys.
I think Zerg was definitely striving to be a villain, where Horsecock was more trying to bring content and interesting stuff. So I think I'll lean towards Zerg, but I generally agree with your assessment there.
Yeah, I either one, 100%. I'm fine with both.
Any thoughts, Morph?
I would probably lean towards agreeing with that. I think Zerg wants to be the villain, and Horsecock just does most fun things. So
yeah. So rolling right into the exact opposite, the nicest player in P&W for 2021. We do have some familiar faces that probably make this list every year. The popular vote selected Adrian as number 1, Pika for number 2, and Poopmere for number 3. No surprises there, I don't think. Alliance reps chose Hannah as number 1. Second was Pootmere, and third was a tie between Adrian and Purple Moon, Yui.
I agree with every single one of these.
But they're all nice people, yeah.
She's hanging out more on Slack these days, so you know. I agree with all these choices. I mean, I don't think any of these are really shockers. They're all nice people. So, but
the only piece I think this year Hannah was more a backroom dealer, which makes sense. The Alliance reps voted for. Adrian was a little more public, so that makes sense. I don't think any shockers there.
And Adrian's no longer an Alliance leader, so she doesn't have to be mean to people anymore. So
true.
except me.
Most controversial player. What is that? You, Morph? Or
Sure, yeah. Most controversial player. If I could get to the right tab, there we go. We had a unanimous vote here. Both the Alliance reps and the OWF nominated our good friend and constant award winner, Epi, as the most controversial player of
He's
the
racking
year.
awards.
This one actually was unanimous across the board. In second place, we have Lord Tyrion in both spots. In third place, we have Jaden Starr in both spots. I mean, I kind of agree with Epi there. Even if he's not a villain, he's definitely controversial. You have things like the Camelot treasure hunt and other things that were just kind of like, bro, what is you doing? Tyrion, I can see this one much more than villain, just because some of the FA choices, if you don't agree with those did create a bit of controversy. And Jaden, I think you can make a point here for that. So I don't know who is left out of this.
I'm gonna echo Vice's thing from earlier and say I don't know if Epi's controversial. I don't know if anybody would disagree.
He just ties his shoelaces together. It's not controversial. He ties his shoelaces together and then doesn't understand why he tripped. Okay, like come on. So that's my thing. Like he won all these categories, and I think there's like some people who really
I think the real thing here is that Vice wanted to be nominated for most controversial.
No,
so.
I don't. No.
I'm sensing a little jealousy in the tone.
I nominate
honestly.
Vice.
No,
Vice.
I'm not controversial. I yell at everyone equally. That's not.
I mean, you did change my Discord PFP.
I did do that, but that was by accident because I thought I was changing mine. I'm sorry.
Likely story.
So
I did try to make an MS Paint one to replace it.
You did.
Woo!
You should just keep it.
Nope.
All right. Most missed player.
Vice, don't look at chat.
Oh my gosh.
What?
Is the game over? I just heard my neighbor yell.
Yeah, the game's over. Don't look at chat. So.
Okay.
So moving along.
All right.
Don't spoil it for Vice.
Oh God, people are DMing me. No. Oh my God. I read chat. It looks like shit Cincinnati won. Dang it.
Oh, it's happy.
Whatever.
You should be happy.
I am happy. I'm very happy. Most missed player. Oh my God, stop! Dude, I have 20 DMs right now. All right, most missed player. The popular vote went to Partisan, then the Rebel Man, then to Fraggle. Then
does Partisan
the Alliance.
even count?
Oh my God.
I mean, Partisan's back, so.
Yeah, but he came back in January.
I know.
Dude, I seriously have like 30 DMs right now. All right. And then the most missed player. The alliances chose Fraggle, and then it was a three-way tie between. Jesus, stop. It was a three-way tie between Arctic, Shifty, and Rebel Man. I'm for the popular vote. I'm happy that Partisan is back. I think a lot of people really missed him. Rebel Man is a huge one. I feel like a lot of people undervalue the Rebel pick because like he spent a couple times in like the Balkans and stuff like that, but like he made a really big impact in E404. He did a lot of things that were not P&W related with people, like chess tournaments and contests. So like he's a huge pick. Fraggle, I don't think is supposed to be on here because I am 99.9% sure she quit in quit in 2020. I don't think that they were gone. I guess they could still be missed even though they didn't go missing in.
You could still miss people, Vice.
Fraggle won the 2020 Most Missed Player Award.
I think they won. Like we clearly still miss that person.
People still miss Fraggle, okay?
But we should
whatever. We still miss her.
We should probably take her off next year. Make the rule. You can't win most missed 2 years in a row.
So Partisan and Rebel, in my opinion, are the two winners for this category.
Let's move on. Best fighter. The OWF had a top 3 of High Dude, Vane, and Horsecock. The Alliance reps put Horsecock first, and then had a tie between Dryad and High Dude for second place. As someone who is currently fighting with High Dude, I think I agree with High Dude being nominated here. He's a machine. He really helps out the war effort, not just like knowing mechanics, but also with his tools and his tech and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You definitely want High Dude.
Yeah, he designed the Oblivion bot that auto declares their nations on people. Like it like logs in and gets them all to triple slot someone at the same time.
If that's a thing, he has
I'm
not
sorry,
given
it was
to
sarcasm.
us.
It was sarcasm.
It
Oh
would have
my
been
God.
cool.
Sarcasm. Yeah.
I was waiting on Morph to respond. I haven't received such a bot. It would be really cool if we did.
I mean, there's a reason that I'm always full on slots.
They've been accused of having a bot like that because when they coordinate, it literally is like boom, 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 triple slotted right at turn change. When you come off beige, so like
because
the
we're
running
awesome.
joke is that they're just bots because no one is that coordinated.
They're also all multis, so
yeah. I mean, when it's all one person.
Yeah.
So funnily enough, I think this is one of those categories that can be quantified instead of just voted on. Horsecock posted Locutus's net damage himself and Dryad as top 2.
As the top. Yep.
If you go into CT owned, there's actually a global player stats section where you can sort by net. Dryad, Horsecock, and High Dude are the top 3. I mean, it's quantifiable, I guess, to a certain extent. It's just interesting that Dryad didn't make the popular vote, but they did the
also,
vote.
He's a C28, if I may point that out, or he was a C28 for a majority of the year. I'm pretty sure Dryad and Horsecock are higher. Not that that's like a huge thing, but it is worth noting that.
I think Veins and Horsecock just kind of get out there more. I don't know.
Yeah, I also give it to, like I said, High Dude is a guy that takes your entire sphere Milcom up a level. Like in Brawlywood, High Dude was not with Hollywood, but he was with us during Guns N' Roses and this current war, and our Milcom is better off because High Dude is there. Like he helps the entire sphere level, which is pretty impressive. So
best nation page. I rarely check people's nation page.
Yeah, I didn't really
the right guy for this one.
I didn't really look at them very much here. So let's just list it, and then you guys can go look at these if you want. Oh gosh, I lost it. Where'd it go? The best nation page according to the OWF is High Dude, but especially when High Dude was controlling Alex's page. So if you want to see what that looked like, go look at Alex's page. Second place is Adrian, and third place is Dream. And then the Alliance reps put Dryad first, Adrian second, and Impure of Ozaki, which I think is one of the Weebinism leaders for third place. So I agree with all of these because I haven't clicked them.
Same.
I have not seen them. Okay.
All
right.
On to
Those are
what
all
you've
the
all
player
been waiting
categories.
for.
Yes, finally. The Alliance categories.
I mean, obviously everybody needs to throw Weebs out in the chat, but
we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it in 7 minutes because we said we do a show in an hour and a half. So here we go.
Yeah. So here we go. Let's start from the reverse though. Let's go up from the bottom, starting with the best holiday flag.
Jesus.
Oh God.
Justinian, why don't you take the best holiday flag?
All right, go through the flags. First place, the popular vote, TKR's Christmas flag is a nightmare, but it won first place.
Yeah, I don't know how that happened.
Rose Halloween won second place, and there is there is a third place. House Start Christmas and TKR's Halloween flag, which was way better than their Christmas flag, tied for third place popular vote.
TKR Christmas flag hurts my eyes.
Yeah,
I thought the Halloween flag was actually pretty cool, but the Alliance representatives thought first place, Aurora, TKR, and Way's Christmas flags, all 3 tied for first. There was apparently no second or third. Sorry, go ahead.
I would like to take the TKR Christmas flag out back and put it down like Old Yeller, personally. But I might get I might disappear tonight for saying
Well,
that.
maybe one
so.
day when you're second in command.
I spoke my truth, and I will probably die for this, but TKR Halloween flag is better. So
I like the
Rolling
way
into
Christmas. I like Aurora Christmas. They both look like a lot of time went into them. I mean, they all look like a lot of time went into them, but I like those two as well. So
who is in the way Christmas? Is that a person from the way?
I hope
There's
so.
there's a
Pico, are you
photoshopped
here?
face
Or
there. I have
Noble?
no
Can
idea
you
who
guys?
that is.
Horsecock
Well,
said the Aurora Halloween one was better than Christmas. I would disagree. I thought that the Aurora one for Halloween was good, but it all kind of like blended together, and you could hardly tell that it was like a wolf and stuff like that. This one shows up like a lot nicer, um, to me. But
ooh, hey, we
yeah,
got some breaking news, guys,
what?
on the show.
the Bengals
I
won.
I no, IKEA and Ampersand are merging. So
Ooh.
maybe that'll be best new merge alliance of 2023 or
Ooh.
2022. At least that's what Rod is reporting as of 20 minutes ago. So
Fascinating.
Interesting. I wonder how that's gonna end up looking.
All right, we're going 4 minutes rapid fire. Ready? Rolling into best
All right,
alliance
best
flag.
alliance flag. Orf, go for it. I just
oh
want to say that
god.
the Legion one that got third should be in first, but go ahead.
Yeah. So the best alliance flag, if I can find it because I lost it. Oh god. Best alliance flag. First place, OWF is Cataclysm. Second place, Aurora. Third place, tie between Eclipse's war flag and Guardian's war flag. Second place, according to Alliance reps, best flag, Legion. Second place, the Order. Third place, the Legion Bad.
We
Which
need to
is the
copy and paste the Legion bad flag in the chat because it's
Yeah, I
actually
tried to
hilarious.
copy and paste it and it won't let me. I don't know if it's because I have editing disabled. But it's amazing if someone can figure out how to post that. Like that
I'll let
flag is
Adrian do
100
that.
times better than the actual Legion flag. Like the Legion flag is kind of underwhelming.
But it won first place, baby. I voted for Legion Bad. Just I want it to be known.
Yeah, Legion Bad is good. There it is. That's beautiful.
That is a top tier flag.
That is the best flag I've seen in a long time.
As
That
an
is better
alliance,
than their normal flag.
as an alliance rep, I voted for that for first. So
truly
amazing.
10 out of 10.
okay, let's move on to most missed alliance. According to the OWF, we had Error 404, the Lost Empire, and Seven Kingdoms. The alliance reps disagreed, and they said Seven Kingdoms is the most missed alliance, which is the right answer. The Lost Empire is second, and Knights Templar is third. So
all fair answers.
Yep, all fair answers.
We're not going to make it 2 minutes, Kev. Leave us alone. So
yeah, yeah.
We're speedrunning now.
Alliance with the best propaganda. Justinian, fire away.
So the alliance with the best propaganda, the popular vote took it away with the way. The Syndicate came in second, and Black Knights disband your alliance and join Black Knights, obviously third place. Alliance representatives literally agreed word for word. Third place, Rose had a tie between BK and Rose, though. Yep. The way, I guess, just killing it with the propaganda, though.
I mean, they spent so much money on it that it would be a travesty if they lost.
Billions.
Is an alliance ad propaganda, though?
I think so.
It's all propaganda.
It's part of the propaganda department. All right.
Anything that the leader and members have access to put out content or influence decisions, propaganda. Saying. Just saying.
Worst foreign affairs move. We actually had a tie here for first place between Alliance reps and the OWF. It is the Oasis and Mystery Inked MDP that got them both rolled by Clock and Blackwater.
Worst foreign affair move 2021. The public MDP, and subsequently, I think Tyrion saying he's never gonna.
Yes.
What did he say? I'm never gonna do public treaties again.
He's never gonna not sign a secret treaty, I think. So
yeah, something like that.
Second place is unanimous as well. Epi becoming leader of Camelot, and Camelot going paperless as a result. It hasn't worked out well for them. So,
Yeah.
Yeah. Third place, according to the OWF, is a tie between all the micros that merged to form Divine Phoenix and slash anything Oasis did this year, which is a little harsh, but okay. And then third place for Alliance Reps is equally harsh between anything Oasis did this year slash Mystery Inc.'s general existence. So that's a little mean.
Also, thanks, Horse, for putting up the image. It says, at this point, I'm never going to apologize again for Secret Treaty. This is what happens when you try and make it public like everyone wants. That's what he's not apologizing anymore.
Which is explicitly why the Immortals secretly joined Hollywood and nobody knows about it.
Yeah, it's very secret. So.
Things that make it go.
Take best foreign affairs move, guys. Go.
Yep. Best foreign affairs move. Unanimously, both sides. Formation of clock. Popular vote, second place was TLE hitting Camelot instead of letting Camelot bully them for the treasure. Third place was the formation of Hollywood and immediately rolling Rose. The Alliance Reps, yeah, same thing. Formation of clock is first. Formation of Hollywood is second, and then TLE not letting Camelot bully them for the treasure is third. Yeah, I think arguments could be made for Hollywood being up there. Formation of clock is, by definition, a really good foreign affairs move. I think any blocks that are good foreign affairs move. It's tough between Hollywood and clock. I think they're both basically.
Yeah,
I think they both get there.
I think it's a toss up. Honestly, yep. Like clock has done some stuff in the air, but Hollywood just is such a massive thing that it's hard to ignore.
If TLE's actions against Camelot were so good, they would have pretty much had offers from across the game for a spot when they were kind of floating around. So that's why I think the other two might be a little bit higher up. Maybe they did and they just didn't take them. I don't know. But, okay, best foreign affairs team. I'm going to take this one because you guys are both in Hollywood. So, popular vote was TKR, followed by Syndicate, followed by Cataclysm. The Alliance Reps was Rose, followed by Syndicate, followed by TKR. I think all of these could be up there. I think Rose won last year. I don't know that I can comment on that well enough. But for this year, I think TKR to convince someone to form a sphere and immediately attack someone is really good. I think if you can avoid getting rolled all year like the Syndicate, you obviously have some FA prowess. Cataclysm, if you can convince your sphere in the game that it's not that big of a deal to chain 2 wars back to back, could be construed or seen as best foreign affairs team. And then Rose, I feel like, again, I know that I'm biased with them being on the up and up. I think they are on the up and up from an FA perspective. I would definitely show them as an improvement. I don't know if they win best. That's up to you guys. My mentor was pretty much Harry Flashman, who does FA for them, so I'm incredibly biased, and I will admit that up front. So, I'm fine with all of them being up there.
Yeah, but it's funny because every single year, Rose is always on the up and up, but never quite hits like I guess their peak. But everybody says that every year is, oh, Rose is definitely improving this year. So I guess they've just been improving every year the game's existed. I love it.
They still haven't figured out.
There was a lot of people who were very upset with Rose at the beginning of the year, and maybe they still are, but I feel like that is not quite as intense.
I feel like if you want to win the best FA department, you should realize that when people mill, you should mill. And Rose still hasn't figured that out. So, I mean, I'm just saying. Yet. I'm kidding.
Ooh.
That's a joke. That's a joke.
Best Alliance growth. Which one do you guys want to take this one?
Sure. OWF, Eclipse, IKEA, Rose. Alliance Reps, Rose. Second place is a four-way tie because apparently everyone is growing well between Eclipse, IKEA, the Legion, and Weebinism.
I personally voted Eclipse on the forums for this one.
I can't believe nobody voted for my one-man micro growing into a 70-member alliance. That's some exponential growth.
Yeah, but you just ate people.
Yeah.
You know? I voted for you.
Growth is growth, I guess.
Growth is
So
growth,
if you want to
man.
put it
I don't know
that
what you
way, it's still growth. But yeah, I think you have to also look at it from, like Eclipse they started up they had enough low tier to start a training alliance. I think that's what Apollo is. They grew pretty well in their main alliance, and then they also have the addition of Test, which was the company, which is part of Eclipse. So when you look at that whole hit and caboodle, that's why I voted for Eclipse. IKEA came out of nowhere, grew really fast, but we've seen that before with like the digital dopamine alliances, who are pretty much now dead rabbits, and they stalled with that. Legion grew really fast, but then they kind of like have been tearing up, but they haven't continued like amassing like a ton of members. They've just been kind of in that same member count. Like for me, I think it's hard not to give it to Eclipse.
Robert, I'm going to just tell you here what my good friend Lefty told Oasis once. You should grow internally, my man.
You should grow internally.
We're working on it, bro.
Okay.
Grow
Yeah,
internally.
I
So
would agree with
rolling
Eclipse
right
here.
along.
So
rolling right along into worst fighting alliance. The number one popular choice, the alliance on the up and up, Rose.
FA on the up and up.
By Divine Phoenix Empire or just Divine Phoenix? I don't know.
now it's Divine Phoenix. It used to be Divine Phoenix Empire. They dropped the E.
Oh, gotcha. Well, that's fine. Third place, the Immortals. In the popular vote, Alliance representatives had a three-way tie and no second or third place between Farkistan, Polaris, and the Fighting Pacifists, which sounds like more reasonable picks to me.
I
Other
tend
than
to agree
Divine
with
Phoenix,
those.
Yeah, I disagree with all the popular votes, even Divine Phoenix. I fought along them once, and it was awful because they spent more time just raiding random people than actually contributing towards the war. However, that was a long time ago. Obviously, like Rose and the Immortals, I don't think that they are supposed to be up there. I can understand how Case for the FARC Polaris TFP by the time the year ended could be there. But I think like there's a lot of people who could be honorable mentions. I think the running meme right now is that Legion had 7 wars like a couple days into the fight, as well as like OWR had, I don't know, like 9
was
or 10,
that true?
So only a couple more.
I never actually looked.
Yeah, it was. We
it
pulled
was
the
true.
stats for it.
They had 0.7 wars after like I think it was like day 2
average per member. No, it was like lower than that average per member. It was like 7 wars.
Oh, so
like
it was less than 1 war per member,
per person.
not literally 7 wars.
No, it was literally 7
I think
wars.
it was literally 7 wars.
They had like 70 people in 7 wars, which was 0.1 wars per person offensively.
It was literally 7. Okay.
It was literally 7, like a couple days into it.
So just so we're clear on air, when anybody ever tries to say we're not the best Roman alliance, we launched over 150 offensive wars in the first
Easier
night.
said when you're on the winning side, though.
Just throwing that out there. There were plenty of slots for Legion to hit.
True.
Anyway.
There are. It is much easier when you're on the winning side, though.
So moving on. I'm about to play you off here. Okay. The OWF, according to the people in the popular vote, said the best fighting alliance is the Hand of Fate, followed by Eclipse, and third place is the Syndicate. The alliance representatives agreed that the Hand of Fate should be up there. Second place, they nominated Oblivion. And in third place, they put 99942 Apophis, which is more of a rating alliance, I believe, but that's still good fighting. So.
Well, they are a rating, but they used to be a full mill rating alliance, but they did have a couple wars this year. And when you watched them fight, it was them as a lower tier, like C10s taking on like C15s and up because they were using coordination. So I like the alliance rep votes here. Hand of Fate at the top, Oblivion followed by 9942A. I think for macros, the popular vote, those if you just look at macros, could be like if you're only looking at like the top 10 or 15 alliances, those could easily be the ones you would choose for that. But like, what's impressive about Hand of Fate, especially when they came from like KT and the Paragon stuff, is like that alliance is a lot bigger than Oblivion and 9942, which is why I'm pretty sure that I voted for Oblivion, but I like Hand of Fate up there because it takes more work to coordinate all those people. Like Eclipse, I guarantee you, if Eclipse was like 10 people with Vayne behind them, it would be just as efficient as some of these other ones. But like, they have so many members, you just can't. Like, it's hard to get everyone on the same page. So.
I'm also a little sad that. Oh no, never mind. Sorry, this is Best Fight Alliance. I was back on worse for a second. My bad.
Yeah. So, most immoral alliance. You guys want to take this one?
Yeah, sure.
Another shocker here.
Yeah. First place. Drum roll, please, because Camelot wins again. The OWF put Alpha as second, and the Syndicate as third, and then the people of the Alliance reps, not the people, the Alliance reps said Syndicate in second place, and the Knights Templar in third place.
Yeah, I don't know. This one's like kind of tough to find moral for like an alliance perspective. For me, I think like cheating is pretty high up on the list. So
Yeah, I
I'm
voted
gonna
for
go with
Alpha.
Alpha on this because you literally like how I'm still mind blown how some dude took the time. I don't even want to log into my own nation sometimes, and some dude was running like 15 nations. What? Like, that's insane. So,
Gotta
and to
grind,
do
baby.
that for that long, and it wasn't just that they had multis, they were boosting people, they were handing out money to other people. Church of Adam's on trial in Thalmoria for like being so close to them and allegedly not knowing. Like, this is far, deep, and wide, and some dude lost 20 something cities over it. That to me is on a whole nother echelon than what anyone else is doing. Change my mind.
I agree. Like, I don't know if I don't agree with like the Syndicate getting nominated for this. Like, you can disagree with some of their choices. Like, I know the whole horsecock thing there, the big wall of text about how the Syndicate does FA or whatever, but like they generally shoot pretty straight with you. They're not like gonna stab you in the back. And from at least what I've experienced, I know some people might disagree, but I've always thought you get a fair deal when you deal with them. KT, I get what people would vote that, but I'd go with Alpha here. I know it's not what people picked, but I do agree with you.
Yep.
I'm gonna say
Most
Camelot took it
honorable.
away personally.
You think so?
Mm-hmm.
Oh well, there you go.
Okay.
You agree with the people.
Yeah, you do. All right, I'm okay with that. Most honorable alliance. OWF had TKR followed by House Stark followed by ARG, which is kind of awesome. Alliance reps had a tie between Rose and TKR, where they so whoever would win out of those two would get first, and the alternative would get second. And then third place had a tie between Guardian and TLE. I personally put Guardian For most honorable, they don't get involved into a lot of the pettiness in the alliance. They do a good job of staying tight knit and on track. They work with a lot of their members, and they've been doing this for a very long time. Somehow they're still relevant in the big political game. I like TKR up there. A lot of people can argue for that. House Stark, I don't know a whole lot. I don't cross paths with Nexus alliances that much. What I do like about them is, were they the one with the leader who was leader for like 5 years?
Yeah.
Crazy. That's a long time, dude. I also like ARG. It is honorable and not dealing with anyone, and you just are in your own lane doing your own thing. Like, I know that sounds really stupid, but like, I think it's kind of cool that they stick to their morals and their ideals, and they keep on trucking. And you can't really be dishonorable when you tell everyone we're not going to make any promises to you.
I agree. Ark's a good pick, but
Yeah.
I have to do follow my boss in FA, my former superior, and say my honor for TKR. So I'm gonna make Cooper proud. So I will take it. I do agree with Guardian. I voted for Guardian personally because
So good. I explained in DNN why I thought Guardian should be number one, and really a great group of guys and girls, I guess, if they have any in there, um, and just super solid. They just don't get into the scum of the game, if you want to call it that, in the community.
Yeah.
Most likely to be rolled in 22. Guys, we're wrapping up. We've only got a couple categories left.
Stick with us.
We are almost done. Most likely to be rolled in 2022. This one's a little bit of a snoozer because the popular vote was Syndicate, and they're currently getting rolled right now. So that is 100% accurate. Followed by Rose, probably going to happen at some point. Followed by Camelot, probably going to happen at some point, maybe. With them kind of like moving around a bunch, who knows what'll happen with them? I feel like people aren't really targeting them right now because they're targeting themselves. And then the Alliance reps had Camelot, followed by the Syndicate, followed by Cataclysm and Grumpy, which very well could happen. So those are the most likely to be rolled. Fire away, most likely to succeed in 2022, Justinian.
Top picks across the board. Alliance reps and OWF both voted for TKR as most likely to succeed. Clearly because of their solid prot choices. Second place in the popular vote, Cataclysm. Third place, the Syndicate. Second place from the Alliance representative side, Rose and Cataclysm in third. I don't think any of those are wrong. I don't see how macros can really go wrong in P&W, so yeah, all four of those will probably succeed to some extent.
And then, Morph, if you don't care, I'd like to take Best Alliance for new players.
Sure. My one thing I'd say here is that even though all of these alliances will succeed, I also could foresee a year where every single one of these alliances also gets rolled because, it's kind of where the game is. So take it away.
Best Alliance for new players. I voted personally for TKR. The OWF voted for TKR, followed by Rose, followed by the Enterprise. I voted differently. I voted for TKR one way for the Alliance reps, and then the other way for the popular vote, because TKR, they're very strong about community. They do sometimes pull those players into slack, which some people may dislike, but I feel like it can help isolate new players and get them focused on things rather than going out and learning about what businesses do, and then they go down the shameful path of getting involved in businesses, or they get into news servers and they get into bickering and whatever. So like, it gives them a little incubation chamber to learn the game and then get exposed from there. Rose is a great pick as well. They have a great mentor system, like where people sort of learn the game from internally. I like the Enterprise as well. I don't think they're as welcoming for new players, but I think if you can get in, they do a good job teaching you about the game and being very strict. If there's one thing I want to throw out to the Syndicate, it's that they are the only alliance with like more than 10 people who consistently have 100% max planes during peacetime. Whenever you check, they've always got it. Like the people are there and they understand what's going on. Like it's just one of those things that you notice. Like they get it. So I think a lot of that has to do with the Enterprise. Alliance reps voted Rose best with a tie between TKR and Enterprise. I don't care. Put these three in any order you want, and I think it's great. So I'm fine with all of these. One of you guys can do the next alliance category, but it's pretty easy that those three are some of the best.
Okay, best rookie alliance, rolling right along. Popular vote, obviously biased against the better ones. IKEA took first place. Voodoo was second, half decent. Dead Rabbits took third, again, half decent. IKEA apparently no longer exists as of tonight, so good for them. On the Alliance representative side, Voodoo won first place. I would agree with that. Voodoo's a up and coming group. I don't even know if they're rookies anymore technically, but second place hit IKEA. Third place, the only correct answer in this category, Empire of the Romans. Best rookie alliance in my opinion. Can't go wrong. Obviously best community, and that's all that matters.
You want to know who's missing from this list that should be on here 100%, and I guarantee you both agree with me?
Who?
Name withheld. 100%.
I forgot that they found. Did they find? Are they less than a year old?
They are a year old. Yeah.
Yeah, they started this year. I remember their Declaration of Existence post was just this humongous redacted document. It was hilarious. Like, it had all this stuff in it, and they just redacted all of it.
Yeah, that was funny.
That was good. So
Name withheld have been pretty consistent performers. Yeah.
I'll tell you their name for $100 million.
In real life or just P&W?
Real life.
Oh,
okay.
Never
mind. Anyone here for money?
I'm good.
As the new merged alliance, the popular vote went to Cataclysm, followed by Hand of Fate, followed by Waffle House. The alliance reps had it Cataclysm as number one, followed by Divine Phoenix and Sunray Victoria being the tie for second place. I actually really like the popular vote on this one.
Wait, who merged to form Waffle House?
That was Stratosphere Marine Corps and Brotherhood family. So you had, and Stratosphere Marine Corps was UNMC and TKTS. But the reason I like this one the best is Cataclysm, clearly huge player in the game. They were a merger between E444 and Children of the Light. Sorry to say this, but I hated Children of the Light's theme. I love Cataclysm.
Whoa. Children of the Light theme was good, man.
Okay, if you say so. The Cataclysm's like fire. It's a really good theme. Hand of Fate is clearly a really good alliance overall. I think the Paragon boys joining them have done wonders, especially for the FA department. And then Waffle House, you had two very unstable alliances who, although Waffle House has had a bit of a precarious position from an FA standpoint, I think like their last couple war performances together has been pretty solid compared to like when they were separate. So I can see why they're up there. Fun theme. I still can't believe Lefty is there. I thought he originally went there as a meme, and he is there to this very day. But I like all of those. So
from the outside looking in, I really thought Waffle House was a decent place. I still think they are. Just side note, but apparently they got dropped for quality something. But then again, that came from Legions. I don't know.
Yeah.
Rolling right along.
Yep. You got two categories left, guys.
Most improved alliance, and then we're gonna tag alliance of the year and wrap up everybody. Most improved alliance, the popular vote tagged Eclipse for some reason. I thought Eclipse was pretty good to begin with, but I guess they really improved this year. Aurora, second place. Black Knights, third place. I guess with the acquisition of the Order, they made a leap. And then the Alliance representatives had a three-way tie between all three of those as well. Aurora, Eclipse, the Legion. Who do you guys think? Or I'm sorry, the Legion was from the Alliance reps, not the popular vote. Who do you guys think is the most improved?
I think it's very obvious from the Alliance rep standpoint. I didn't know where Aurora was very well at the beginning of the year, but it seemed like them coming from Quack, they were trying to do their things. I feel like Aurora grew out of the micro FA mentality into being more of a macro FA mentality, especially with them being in Clock. They've moved around a little bit, but they seem to have found a home in Clock, which hopefully is long term. Eclipse is a very easy one. They were always kind of like Rob into someone's Batman, but I feel like they are in control now. So that's why I can see why they're a contender. Legion, I feel like we need to scratch off. They have grown a lot. They were micro at the beginning of the year. They're large. They're like top 15 for a while, but like I thought one of the most base declaration of wars was when KT hit the Legion, because they said you have hit the top 10 and you've never fought a war, so here's a war. And I thought that was really cool. There was no salt in it. There was no angerness. It was just like, hey, we don't think you should be in top 10 without a war. Here you go. EK, I can see how they've come really far because they have rolled up Imperium and Tess merged into the Order, which then merged into Black Knights. So from an alliance where people kind of thought they were just sitting in their own little corner, they've also performed really well during wars. I think that's been a consistent thing. So I'm fine with Black Knights being up there, Eclipse being up there. Yes. So I'm cool with all of them. Orf.
Yeah, I agree with it. Okay. No strong opinions here.
All right, last category, everyone. We've got Alliance of the Year. This is a big one, and it's like tough to narrow down what defines the Alliance of the Year. Is it someone who's made the FA moves? Is it someone who's fought the best? Is it someone who's grown the most? And all these can be weighed differently in each individual's opinion. So it's tough to like pick one alliance for this. So the popular vote was Cataclysm, followed by TKR, followed by Eclipse. And if you think those three don't deserve to be up there, higher than a kite, okay? Those three alliances did a phenomenal job. The alliance reps have Cataclysm at the top as well, followed by Rose in second, followed by Syndicate in third. I think the case for Rose and Syndicate can be made, although I feel like Cataclysm, TKR, and Eclipse for the popular vote did a really good job on it. It's tough. Like, I know Rose took both wars on the chin, but getting rolled as one of the, like, that sphere getting rolled the most during the year. It's tough to, like, unanimously say that they should be up there. Cataclysm did a lot of moves. They've just really been moving and shaking a lot. Eclipse can be up there. Syndicate, I think, for avoiding getting rolled all year, the case could be made. I don't really know about their growth or anything else like that, but there was a meme throughout the year that they had a recruitment problem. Obviously, it's like a joke because they turn everyone away, but what do you guys think about that?
Every single alliance on that list, I think, deserves to be on that list. They all did well.
They're
all great.
Every single one of these alliances has a case, and every single one of them could win depending on how you were voting. I think Cata got a big boost because the last two wars at the end of the year went well for them, and put Clock in a good spot. But if they lose a war there, maybe they don't get the vote. TKR had a good year because they won a couple of wars, but they lost a war. Syndicate, I think, honestly, probably deserves this more than anybody, personally, just because they had the best year possible. They didn't lose a war. They won several wars. I know Kata also kind of did that, but Kata also didn't exist during some of those wars. Like, you can't just take E404 and Children of the Lights wins and say that's Kata's win because it's a different alliance.
I mean,
my thing on this though is like that means your FA department is really good, but the reason why I would like pick TKR say over Syndicate is TKR had a lot of like they had ups and downs. They split off from like Quack with HM. They made some shakes, but then also like you guys had some really interesting wars for and against you. Whereas like the Syndicate, I feel like most of their wars were like just completely stomping over someone. You have where the last ride was like Swamp didn't even want to fight back. Like that was like at that point beating a kid who already beat himself up, right? And then what was the next war that they did? Was their next Brawleywood, which again, that was a big war, but I feel like TKR showed more of a fight in that than it required from Rose and Syndicate. And then lastly, their last war was hitting Swamp 3.0 for the MDP, which hearing wise was kind of an easy war. So I know a lot of people said that Oasis and Swamp, Oasis and Mystery were winning down low and stuff like that, but in general, it looked like kind of a brutal beatdown. So that's why I like Cataclysm, TKR, and potentially Eclipse for Alliance of the Year.
That's fair.
Works for me.
That wraps us up.
Okay.
Thank you
guys
for coming.
all.
It's been a wild 2021, and it's looking like it's going to be a wild 2022. So we'll see you back next year.
Yep.
For more awards.
We are, again, just like since we're here, if you guys have never come to these radio shows before, we do have them. There's some in a lot of the news servers like Ron, DNN, Morph Radio, Thalmoria. If you guys have never heard of those, ask for invites. I recommend you go and check them out. How you get dug into the community. Look at the forums more. Apparently more walls of text are wanted. So we just appreciate you guys all coming out. And thank you again for everyone who ran these awards. I just was here to give out and dispense them, but I rarely had anything to do with how they were made. That was all like Adrian, Putmere, Scott, like all those guys. So thank you very much for putting those on. Yep, Very Good Media. I called it Morph Radio, but I meant Very Good Media is another radio show you can go and hear like alliance leaders debate on topics. So
play us out, Kev.
Yep, play us out, Kev. Oh God, he's doing it through the phone. This is rough. This rough
needs
to watch.
To be a live version, Kev. This needs to be a live version.
Kev.
From the trying so hard.
No, we won't stop. Thalmor Radio. Thalmor Radio. Thalmor Radio.
This isn't even Thalmor Radio.
Thank you, Kurd, for tossing out the cat bomb.
All right, Kev, get back to work on making an actual Morph Radio song.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks, guys. Have a good night. Hopefully, here's a good 2022. Out.